We all make goals and dreams in our life, but I want to ask you, how's yours going? In my life, thinking back, I remember in kindergarten when I made my first goal or dream, and it was to eat more vegetables. Miss Parsonage wanted us to make a goal. I thought this was a soccer goal, but this was something about life that I was learning for the first time. Fast forward a decade later, and I think I'm eating a little more vegetables. Dreams and goals change a lot. Life changes and we as people evolve. But why is it so challenging to reach that dream? And how can we get to it? How can we make a dream not just a fantasy and something we think about, but a reality? Maria Stefanova writes for The Medium, and she states that 95% of people will not reach their dreams, meaning that 5% of people are stuck in non-desirable places in their life, jobs that they do not want to be in, and have not reached their dreams. How can this not be you? How can you be the 5% who do reach their dreams? How can you make your dream where you want to be in life? I hope this video provides some sort of advice and encouragement, and I will go through reasons why people do not reach their dreams and how to counteract that with taking hold of your life and taking accountability and conquering those dreams. Let's get into it. Number 1, a lack of clarity. Many have dreams that are too ambiguous. What does that mean? Well, they want to have a business, but don't know what interests or what kind of business they want to have. Maybe have a dream of helping people, but don't know what field to get into. Many even have a dream of making just a ton of money and living grand, but have no way of getting there. They don't know how to make a lot of money. Maybe trading stocks and stuff, but they don't know what they're doing. This person has a lack of clarity. Number 2, a fear of failure. A fear of failure will keep many being paralyzed from ever even taking the first step, never stepping out of their comfort zone, and this is where a lot of people get trapped in, where they don't want to move. Their state of life is comfortable, and they fear of messing up. They fear of being the laughingstock of those around them. Fear of failure keeps many from ever reaching their dreams. A lack of persistence and procrastination. Now you've taken the first steps, and you're starting to move towards those dreams. But life happens. You feel unmotivated at times, and you stop pursuing it. You've started taking steps, but now you're not moving. You've stopped persisting, and the procrastination starts coming in, and you just push off those tasks. You push off those homework assignments, and you slip into procrastination. The New York Times writes that procrastination isn't a unique character flaw or a mysterious curse on your ability to manage time, but a way of coping with challenging emotions and negative moods induced by certain tasks, boredom, anxiety, insecurity, frustration, resentment, and self-doubt and beyond. Being stuck in your comfort zone. Like I mentioned previously earlier, this is a really easy one to get caught up into. Especially for guys and gals my age, just getting out of high school and trying to figure out what they want to do. Maybe I'll just take a leap year, and I'll push that out until later. Right now, I am enjoying playing video games and hanging out with my friends, and I'll pursue that dream a little later down the road, maybe in my 20s, and I've figured it out by then. It's the easy thing to do, but before you know it, you're stuck in your mom's house, and you're still stuck in her basement playing video games. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the 95% of people who do not reach their dreams. And I thought not, because you clicked on this video and you're still watching. The last main reason why people do not reach their dreams of financial freedom, of making it to the big leagues, of starting that business, or whatever aspiration you have in life, is a lack of accountability. Many find themselves blaming external circumstances, such as bad parenting, or the neighborhood they live in, bad schooling, or they blame internal circumstances of comparing oneself to others, believing that they're not capable, smart enough, or talented, or gifted of whatever they're trying to get into, thinking that other people are more competent and they are not. Now, how can we take control over our lives, taking accountability over these circumstances and all of the insecurities and things that maybe be coming against us? How can we reach those dreams? Number 1, if there is a lack of clarity, goals, milestones, and strategies need to be implemented so that that dream can become manifested. If your dream is still unclear or ambiguous, then I have some questions that may help you. Ask yourself, what hobbies, people, or places are important to you? Now, what jobs may align with that? What jobs may align with you maybe liking being around people, leading with people? What hobbies or interests do you have? And finding a career choice that aligns with what you enjoy. That's what a dream is, and that's what it's all about. Consider, do I like traveling or do I like staying in the same place? Finding a job of those circumstances. Like I said, working with people. Do you like working in a workplace with other people or working at home, solo, freelancer? Weigh out your strengths and weaknesses of your personality and go from there. Figure out, what kind of personality do I have and what kind of jobs will align with this so that can be real. If you have dreams of making a lot of money and starting a business and all these things, figure out those strengths and weaknesses of your personalities and strengthen those things in your life that are strong of your personality, and parts that are weak, work on them and observe them and know where your weak points are. Now research, learn about it, take action, go to that school, take a tour, shadow a professional, take steps. You have to start now. Right now is the best time, not later, not tomorrow, but as soon as you can, taking steps in whatever you want to do. Don't save it till later, go after it. Number 2, a fear of failure. Failure is, simply put, humiliating. You don't want to fail, and you don't want to feel like a mistake and messing up, or you lose a lot of money or people make fun of you. But you have to understand that failure is a part of life, and that the 5% who do make it, who do reach their dreams, will use failure as a stepping stool. They realize, okay, this is where I messed up. This is where my character and my personality isn't very strong. My habits in this area aren't very good. And having self-reflection, journaling, and analyzing your own self, and being your own self-critic, not being too hard on yourself, but figuring out where it went wrong, going down to the reason of why it happened, understanding that failure will happen and learning from it, using it as a learning tool. Number 3, with procrastination and a lack of persistence. Personally, in my own life, whenever I am stuck in a rut of procrastination and I'm not persisting with the hobby of playing the guitar or learning Spanish, I tell myself, if I do this now, then my future self will thank me for doing it at this very moment. If you are pushing off the task that you want to do towards your dream and you keep on putting it down the line, your future self is just going to have to worry about it then. The same you of now is eventually going to live in that moment and you're going to have to do it. So why not do it now? Why not take action? And you'll be even further down the road and your future self will be thanking you for being so prudent. As Master Uwe once said in Kung Fu Panda,
yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
Number 4, staying in your comfort zone. Comfort can be comforting, but do you know what also is not comforting? Not making your dreams. Living in circumstances and financial struggle and barely making ends meet. You don't want to be there. You don't want to be in a place of life where you're struggling because you've decided to stay comfortable, and because of that, you have hurt your future. What you are doing now in the present will dictate how your future is spent, how your present self, when you get to the future, will experience life. What you are doing right now, what you are learning from me and everybody else, and what you are participating in, the actions you take, will form the person that you become. The experiences of life, of growing up, make you who you are now, but who you are now will dictate who the future self will be. Will you use the gifts and talents that God has given you? You are gifted in many different areas. Every person is like a fingerprint, being unique and set apart in different ways, being helpful to society and one another, and are gifted at something. Find it and stick to it. You will thank yourself. Number 5, taking accountability over your life. But before I get into that, keep watching this video, because at the end of it, I will share a Bible lesson that may be encouraging and fits just with what I'm talking about today. And if you enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe and share it with a friend. I would really appreciate it. When it comes to taking accountability over your life, I want you to think of the story that you will have. Think of all of the challenging circumstances and the hardships of your life. Think of the story that you can have. How inspiring is it to listen to a story of an individual who has made it out of somewhere that is very hard, that has a hard family situation, struggled in school but got better, or whatever your circumstances are of financial or mental health or physical. Think of the story that you can have of taking accountability over your life to inspire those around you. I know there's many people in my life who have had many hard things happen to them in their own lives, and they have great degrees and good jobs and are living good lives. Yes, they still struggle, but it creates character. And the number one thing that helps in my own life and in the many lives of the people who have inspired and encouraged me is the relationship with God, with Him pouring into them and giving them strength through all of their trials. Maybe you aren't religious, and maybe you are and have a relationship with God. But in my own experience, the strength from Him will get you through so much. Lastly, I would like to conclude with the parable of Jesus found in Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 through 30. And to paraphrase, it goes a little like this. There was a master who went away on a journey and had 3 servants and entrusted them with his property. To the first he gave 5 talents and traded and made 5 more. To the second he gave 2 talents and he made 2 more. And then the last servant received 1 talent and buried it. After a long time, the master came back to see how the servants had done in stewarding with his property. And the first servant came forward and showed to his master that he had made 5 more talents on top of the 5 that was given to him. And he said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in little, and I will set you over much. Enter to the joy of your master." The second did likewise, and gave 4 talents to him. And the master said to him, and the second servant, that he did to the first. Lastly, the third servant came forward to him and explained how he had 1 talent, and he wanted to be safe and did not take any risk. So he buried the 1 talent and did nothing with it. The master was upset and disappointed because he entrusted to his servant talents but did nothing with it. So his talent was given to the other servants who had more. And the master explained, "To everyone who has will more be given, and he will have an abundance. But the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away." In the context of this Bible scripture, 1 talent equals a year's wages. Each one of these servants put in effort with the talents that they were given. Now, translating to the metaphor and meaning of this is it can relate to finances, and I truly believe that it can relate to our own lives with the talents and gifts that God has given us. You have gifts and talents in your life. So what will you do with it? Will you take accountability with them? Or will you be paralyzed by fear and comfort and insecurities, never taking action and staying in the present moment? God has made you special, born, set apart from different people. And how will you answer to this? Will you be like the foolish servant who did nothing and buried his treasure, who buried his gifts and did nothing with it? Or will you be like one of the wise servants? And will you be the 5% who take action and make it, who reach their dreams and don't keep it as a fantasy and truly reach it? You, my friend, have one life. It is time to take action and reach those dreams.